Joining me now, columnist for The Hill, Joe Concha, and Fox News legal analyst, Mercedes Colwin. Good to have you both here.
Great to be here.
Mercedes, let's start with the most amazing thing, the president suggesting that the Senate Intelligence Committee start investigating fake news rather than collusion, since they can't find anything over, what is it, about 23 months of investigation.
And lots of witnesses, 100,000 documents, lots of money involved in this investigation, and nothing fruitful has come from it. Yes, we should look at this fake news. It's a real problem. Thankfully, we have a media expert here who's going to talk about his responsibility as a media expert, as a media professional who's out there. You have to promulgate the truth. They're the watchdogs of America. The journalists are watchdogs of America. If they're fake news, you have to come, you've got to drill down on it and say exactly what you have a responsibility to do it correctly, and tell the truth to the American public. So
what you're asking is for journalists working for fake news organizations, and they include the Washington Post, the New York Times, NBC News. This list could get quite long. It's the preponderance of major news outlets that are indulging in this extraordinary attack on a sitting president. Pew
Research releases a survey that they worked on for a long time on the Trump presidency and coverage. The Trump presidency only gets 5% positive coverage. That is impossible when you consider where he's polling, right? 40, 42%. So how do we get to 95% of the stories are negative? I mean, this is an astounding number, Lou.
Yeah, if this were the case, I mean, if actually everything were that negative, we wouldn't be looking at stock markets that have added over $4 trillion in market cap, that have gone up 25% since he was elected president.
GDP at 3.1%.
All of which is the fact that there's obvious confidence in what's happening in the United States. I mean, that's why the stock keeps going up.
Well, there was
consumer confidence, obviously.
There was one other part of that poll which I found even more interesting. When covering President Trump, major news organizations, 74% of the time, focus on his character and his leadership. And only 26% of the time, they focus on policy and performance. Right. That's upside down. We should be talking about the things that affect people's lives and not concentrating on Trump the person so much. They can't stop psychoanalyzing him.
It's not even psychoanalyzing. It is. These are people who are carrying a message, trying to subvert a president. It's propaganda. It's nonsense. And by the way, they are unwilling to acknowledge that he's smarter than any 5 reporters you can name at random in the fake news business. It's a stunning thing to watch the White House press corps contending with Sarah Sanders. The questions they ask, it's just ignorance piled on ignorance in nearly every instance, and then they repeat the questions.
In any other setting, forget the fact that we're talking about the media. If you are out there in the workplace and you are but let's just say, if you're lying in any other setting, you would be out of a job.
Yeah,
you wouldn't come to an existence. If you're in corporate America and you're lying, you're out of a job. Your company ceases to exist. There's so much that happens when there's accountability. That's what we're talking about: accountability and truthfulness.
I say this, Joe, to everyone who wants to test the theory. Go to the home page or the front page of the Washington Post and count the number of headlines that are anti-Trump every single day.
The good news is The Hill compiled the number of endorsements that Hillary Clinton got, major newspapers, Hillary Clinton got and Donald Trump got before the 2016 election. 57 endorsements went to Hillary Clinton. 2 to Donald Trump. Those 57 endorsements got her a concession speech. They don't have the influence like they used to. So while they could go negative, people are seeing right through it, Lou.
I think that is a wonderful thing. I still think that it is absolutely unconscionable what they do day in and day out. And shame on them. Joe, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Mercedes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Great to be here.